Hello, 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 guys. I think we're live. And tonight we are gonna do the dev stream, which I didn't do for ages. And to start it off, we are going to talk about horror games and other stuff. Which we will take as an opportunity. Oh damn, the bot is here as well. Hey Nuggineck, what's up? What's up? Yeah, Seribot is new. That is new for our complete rebranding of stuff on the background. And yes, we are on YouTube as well. We are live everywhere, and also the dog wants to get picked up. Look at her. You cannot see her, but she's licking the table. And did someone redeem that? Okay, I guess we will need to re-roll our Pokemon now, guys. I hope any one of you remembers what we got then. Because I definitely will not. So place your bets now, guys. Yeah, she's literally doing that on the table. It's probably tasting of my palm. Oh, look! $sign user signed up because someone is too dumb to work this out. Yeah, oh, damn, you noticed fast. Holy Argo. I'm pretty sure if someone gave it to me, I wouldn't see. Special Crayons, thank you for the follow. Look at this, like, how broken everything is in the... on the alert boxes and stuff. Let me quickly remove, like, one alert box. There we go. Okay, guys. Since Lydia is saying that we have to reroll, place your bets now if you want to guess what type we get. Not gonna lie, I don't even remember what type we have. Oh yeah, true, now we have ground. Wait, what can I... To def something something? Like how? How do we reroll the Pokemon type if we change it to def something something? Okay, guys, first of all, we're gonna reroll the Pokemon, and then we're gonna roll what we do today on the stream. How about that? Yeah, we are gonna put in everything we need to do, and then we just roll the Wheel of Name. But before that, we're gonna reroll the Pokemon type. Okay, you guys ready? Special Crayons knows that it needs to be Dragon at some point. Motherfucker, it's water again. We have a pretty decent team for that. Okay, guys, just remember it's water. Okay, so let's... roll Digimon. That would actually be such a fun idea, Siswi, that you had back, like... I think that was, like, last week where you went, like, with the idea of literally rolling the Wheel of Names every time we can Digivolve a Digimon. That was brilliant. Okay, so for one, we need to put in the camera switching for the PC. We also need to put in the go to PC interaction in there. We also need to put in enemy pathing. We also need to put in camera handling for Ghost. Oh damn, and you guys hit me with it hydrate already? Literally every life decision is now gonna be a wheel of names. Then wouldn't that be a fucking hilarious idea for a YouTube video, guys? Literally filming a whole day, and then just every decision you need to make is a wheel of names. And then you have to hit go with it. We need to find a ghost model. We need to find a TV model. We also need to find a PC model. We don't need a player model, luckily. Damn, that sucks. Wheel of Hydrate. That, oh my god. That would actually be so cool, getting like a bunch of drinks, and every time someone does the hydrate one, we roll it to see what we have to drink. And it's like ultra hard alcohol, ultra sweet drinks, the worst drink of all time, water, and stuff like that. Let's face it, guys, we're stopping being like a horror variety streamer. We're becoming a Wheel of Names streamer now, full time. What else do we need to do? Oh, obviously well, there are things that are building on top of those kind of things, so I guess that's it for now. So guys, anyone want to place their bets on what is happening now? What do we get? Lydia could even make a prediction. I think 7 things are actually working. But I guess that would take too long of time, and okay, she's doing that. So you guys need to listen to me yapping for a second longer, not that it's okay. And not that it's any different of how the stream usually is. It's literally me yapping all the time. 4, 5, 6, 7. Also, guys, chill out. I know I can count like a 7-year-old. So place your bets once the poll is ready. So you don't miss out on potentially being the one that was right on a wheel that is randomly chosen. Then we should actually just make like a program real quick where we can enter everything ourselves. Like, which literally does that without looking as cool, but made by ourselves. Who knows, maybe. But I never lost my arm. So I guess it's not all the same. Okay, no prediction happening. Then we'll just go and spin the wheel. Just type 127 in the chat if you want to place a guess, I guess. Let's go. What are we gonna do? Okay, guys. First thing we're gonna do today is find a model for a PC. So you want to know how we do that? We'll go on the asset store. We're gonna say search online, which opens up a new window. Which shows us this lovely little thing. Yes, we'll look for a PC model that hopefully is free. Computer. That's what we're looking for. And now behold, what we have is HQ laptop computer. Look at how good this looks. Also, look how it literally dies right now. We're gonna add that to our assets. We're gonna accept the terms. So if you guys ever wonder when you want to create a game, if it is free and it has the license agreement standard Unity Asset Store EULA, that means you can use it however the fuck you want. We actually have a table already. Since we're gonna be using This one, which has like a map already. Let me show you that one. We're gonna use that asset pack. We're gonna build the map ourselves. But just to show you guys that we have actually quite a lot of stuff already in the game. Let me quickly show you once it loaded. It takes a bit of time. Zoom in. We already have all those assets in the game currently, which we can use, which also has a table. And we're gonna build on that foundation that we have all these models already in the game. There would also be a laptop already, but we're taking the new one because we are not Mac users. So anyway, what we do next is download the package. So we have the nice HQ laptop computer. Rolling what gen to go for? Holy fucking shit. Okay, so we have found our computer model, guys. And since we have no functionality in there, we can roll the wheel again. Isn't that fun? I mean, if you guys want to see me get insanely salty, 0 to 100, we can do 1 or 2 more spins and then we can go to Dead by Daylight. And I'll show you what salt looks like. Okay, let's spin the wheel, guys. Since we already made progress. Damn, look at this. We need to find another model, guys. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna head to the asset store. We're gonna type in ghosts. And we're gonna look for that. And not gonna lie, I low-key like these ones. Is it really horror? Probably not. Are they looking cute as fuck? Definitely yes. We're gonna save those in a different one. Yes, Lydia. Wait, I don't stream on YouTube? It actually said I am. Okay, just make me question my sanity. That is fine. And by the way, if you want to look for free stuff, you always hit free here, and then you get like a bunch of ghosts. Which may or may not look good or shit. That's up for you to decide. They all look better than what I could do, so we'll live with that. But yeah, we might actually go for those ghosts. Not gonna lie, maybe the skeleton ghosts are also fine. What we also will do is look for stuff like Banshee. There are models on Adobe. But since I didn't think about us going for finding models today, I'm probably not signed in, and I have no idea what my credentials are, so that could take a while. But let me check in a different browser. Quickly, I can check. Okay, give me a second, guys. You will not see my credentials, but we will be logged in a second. Because we're just gonna create a new account really quick. And it's loading, and it's loading. So, this, guys, is... Yes, my credentials is errors123. For anyone that doesn't know, this website is called Mixamo. It's weirdly enough done by the nice people of Adobe. and is actually completely free to use. And offers you not only character models like this sick fucking guy, which are fairly high quality, it also offers you animations for him. So we can do like this and see, oh, that was what it would look like if he stands up right now. Pretty cool, right? So let's see if they have like some kind of cool ghost model. Which I'm not sure they have. I think they have like a bunch of generic ones here that are like monsters and main character potential. Like Ash Ketchum, or if you order him on Wish. What license, Lydia? I have no idea about Sketchfab. Oh, we could use a zombie girl for a ghost. That would actually work. I mean, we're stopping the animation. Let's look at her, but she actually looks really much like a zombie. Not really like a ghost, right? We can look up Sketchfab real quick. Yeah, no, Sketchfab isn't free. Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah. Those ones have. Also, let me quickly close down WhatsApp, guys, so you don't see all my private messages. Give me a second. And we will just kill the process, I guess. I thought I turned it off. So now it's that you don't see my insanely important text messages anymore. Well, I mean, the command for killing tasks on Mac is literally kill all birds, which kills all running processes that aren't system relevant. So I'll just leave you guys with that knowledge. If you ever think that Apple is a nice company. Well, to be fair, like the ghost models are like the models aren't really what we're looking for, but we will come back to this website later for animations. So for now, let's look at if we have like some stuff we can find on the Unity Asset Store, which would be awesome. Well, we could definitely, like, I see us, that this is actually gonna be a good looking one. I mean, look at him. I mean, he looks like someone bit his dick off, but like, the rest, he looks pretty good. Let's look further though. In case we see something that we actually like. But that's the thing, like, when you have a certain vision and no artistic sense of artistic being, you are kind of needed to find stuff that is there and either be happy with like mediocre stuff that is free or the demon doll. The question is, can we put like, I mean, yeah, she's probably working. I mean, yeah, we can probably make that work. So we're gonna put her in, which means we're gonna quote unquote buy this free asset pack, and we are gonna reload that one. Just so our demon doll shows up, we're downloading it. And if you ever wonder where downloaded things come up, they should be coming up somewhere around here, probably in models or like anywhere. Oh yeah, and also you need to import the stuff to make it appear. So for this, we have the laptop. We're gonna import it. It's going right here. So we put that into models so that it's nice and ordered. And once our Demon Doll G1 is gonna be there, we're gonna put her in. But let's, for now, while it downloads, let's look further a bit down. If we see like a ghost that we can actually, that we might want to use for the ghost we have right now. Since we didn't check this side yet. I mean, we could use a bunny. But to be fair, I think it's gonna be the ghost girl that we use for the ghost that we have currently in. We can change it later anyways. It's just for getting like the prototype, the MVP running. So we're gonna live with what we found. So it's also finished downloading, which then is throwing an error because I see the console could not decrypt package. That is not good. Okay, but we have our thing done, which means we are gonna go back to all your guys' favorite activity. We're gonna spin the wheel again. Which means whatever it lands on, we kind of need to do that. Okay, camera switching, guys. That is something we need to do now. So first of all, like every time we do stuff, is we're gonna go in here and we're gonna say we need a new mono behavior script, which we call a camera controller. And we hit enter. So that gives us a camera controller, like the name says, which we're gonna use to switch around cameras. So we're gonna load up cursor again, and we're gonna leave all that in, and we're gonna start our... Okay, why is the console opening now? Oh, cursor killing itself. Why is are you so excited because tomorrow is the day? I mean, I can understand. Completely relatable, so sweet. Okay, so first of all, guys, what we need is a public list. And also we need input system. Yeah, we also, no, we don't need that rendering. We need using what is it? I have no idea. We will get it once we put in list, I guess. List, and it's a list of cameras and cameras. So we need system collections generic, so we get our list in the game. True, otherwise it doesn't roll over. And we have a public int current camera index, which is 0, so it always goes to the one that we want. And we want an input action, but we want to have an input action which we call next camera. Oh yeah, we can name it next camera action actually. And we're gonna name the other one previous camera action. Okay, he wants to put in a void on enable. We also will need a public bool is camera active, which we're going to use, it's false on default, which we're going to use to determine that we're not currently watching the cameras or that we currently are watching the cameras. So that's that. So it also needs a public camera player camera where we can put in the player camera to disable it once we are enabling it. That is something we need. And also, we actually want that. That is pretty great. No idea what he did there, but just delete that. Happy little accidents. So we'll hit save. And we're gonna actually put the camera controller on any game object that we want. But first we need to go back to our demo scene. Yeah, I can understand that you want Black Wargreymon. It is one of the bestest ones, not gonna lie. So, are we loading the screen? We are loading the scene. Okay, guys, so what we want to do with that one is we're gonna create an empty, which we're gonna call camera controller. And we're gonna attach our script to it, which is the camera controller. So now we have a nice list of cameras, and also we add a binding. The binding in that case is gonna be keyboard. It's gonna be a character mapped to keyboard, and it's gonna be D. So we have that set up, and then for previous camera, we're gonna add a binding. We're gonna path it to the keyboard, which is gonna be a character mapped to it, and it's gonna be an A. So now we already have in our switching logic with A and D to get to the next or the previous camera. And we have our list of cameras. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna place just some cameras in the scene, which we'll do like that. And we're gonna call them camera 1. And we're gonna make another one, which is gonna be camera 2. And we're gonna make another one, which is gonna be called, you guys have guessed it, camera 3. And we're gonna make them look at the character in different angles, because that is what we're gonna use to determine if the switching is actually working or not. Okay, this camera is clearly seeing him. So we're gonna use that one and put it like just slightly higher, and camera 3 is just gonna be like right up his ass. And we're gonna add those to the camera controller, obviously. So we're gonna say plus plus plus. So we have 3 controls. This, and this. So what we have now is we have our list of cameras that we want to cycle through. We have the next camera action and the previous camera action, which is put to the D and A key. And what we need to do now is gonna do a public input action next camera, which is probably gonna be like input action callback context. If context performed, current camera index plus plus. Also, this is gonna be, we're gonna remove that because we don't want that. This is also a fallback. You're lost. Ask me what, just tell me where I lost you and I will go back and explain everything in detail. We can do that gladly. Also, let me just go a step back. About 3 weeks ago. Okay, let me trace back to where we are right now. We want to make the cameras work when we enter the PC, right? So where we can check like observation duty style, the house or the map, to look around what might have changed and also see if the ghost is on one of the cameras, because it's gonna go static. So what we did just now is we created a script which has a list of cameras, which has an index which is just used to reference the position of the camera we are in currently in that list. And we have put in 2 input actions, which is for going 1 number higher or 1 number lower on the list. we have a public camera player camera, which is just the camera we use in first person view. But since we need to control that this camera is not active anymore when we are in here, we need to have a reference for that one so we can get on it. And then we have also a Boolean, which is a simple yes or no, which allows us to say either use this view or don't, depending on is it yes or no, which in this case it's no on default, but we can change that later on. And then what we have here is like it's simply an on enable, which means like, okay, this camera, this one is gonna be enabled once the whole script starts. This one is like when the script ends, we cannot no longer do that. And now we're right now in making our input actions, which are just like those, which are basically going like, okay, if the context is pressed, which we performed in, which we assigned in here to a keyboard key, perform the action which does the current camera index is gonna be plus plus. So the current camera so if the current camera index is higher than the count of the cameras in the list, it goes back to 0, because a list, let me actually open Paint. We're going Paint now, guys. So a new file. Let's zoom in. So if you have a list in in any programming language, it starts from, I didn't want to do that. I want to draw. It starts at 0 and then goes 1, 2, 3. That is how a list is counted. So in our terms, 0 is gonna be the first item in the list. But what happens if you have 4 items in the list here, but you say you want to get the number 4, the index 4, which is not there, then your compiler will go, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then he will look for 4. If you have no 4 in there, it literally just crashes the whole game. Everything dies, nothing works anymore. That is called an out of bounds exception, which literally means you are outside of the numerical range that you defined here in your list. So the compiler cannot find it. It doesn't know how to do anything anymore and will just go down and die. So that's why we have this fallback here, that it says if we go like, let me actually undo everything. If we go like 1, 2, 3, like this is our 3 cameras, right? So if we are here and we would say we want to go to the next camera, it would automatically say, okay, the next index needs to be 3. And that would literally get us out of bounds. So out of bounds. So instead of that, we say if it would go higher than the count is, we revert back to 0, which would loop us all the way back here so we can start incrementing it again. And if we hit it again here, we would just go back to this path. So this is no longer a possibility. And we would instantly default back to 0 and go again. I hope that makes a little bit more sense now. Okay, and then what literally happens is we're gonna say camera with the current index, which is gonna be whatever number we have then there, is gonna be true, just so we can see what the camera is. You're welcome. Just if you ever need any explanation that needs to be more in-depth, just ask out. I'll try my best to make a somewhat coherent answer out of it. But I know I'm not the best teacher when it comes to programming, because due to my ADHD, I jump from like one space to another when I talk about programming and IT stuff. So I need to actually focus on explaining. So if I ever jump too much, guys, just tell me. We will fix that issue afterwards, and then I will jump again until you guys tell me. This is how we're gonna do it. You can get it, the game. When we can test it, I will throw one copy over to you. Yes, and so just to explain the next thing as well, this is literally the same in reverse. So we're gonna undo a couple stuff. So the same thing goes if we go here. You cannot have an index of -1, but if we are at 0 and you press the A button to go back, you would hit a -0. Good morning, Mortis. How are you? I hope you slept well. You would go to -0. And since the lowest number in any list is always gonna be a 0, that one would also give you an out of bounds exception. So what we do instead is we say, oh wait, you want to go to a 0? No, you are gonna go to the highest index we know of, which is the current camera index. Also, there is a bug in that code that was generated by the IntelliSense. No, actually it's not. That's correct. Oh, you cannot see everything? Oh yeah, my hat is in the way. Sorry, guys. Now I understand what Ilya means with you can't see. So what happens here is we're gonna say the current camera index is --, which always means it's either +1 or -1. So ++ means we could also write it like a current camera index +1. That is exactly the same as if we write ++. The same goes for -. We could just write -1. But you look like a far cooler dude if you go like ++ or -. Just telling you guys, if you want to look cool in front of your programming peers, do that. And what it does then, it checks if we are smaller in number than the current camera index. Which then would mean we are going to change the current camera index to the camera's count -1. And here is an important thing to remember every time. The camera's count is going to give you back the numerical value of items that are in there. It doesn't start at counting by 0. So if we have an array of 3, he would give you the number 3 in there, which would instantly get us out of bounds again. So you always need, if you take the count or the size, depending on if you use a list or an array, you always need to put in a -1 as well to get back into bounds and have the last spot that you have. And after that, it's the same as before. He is gonna go and turn the camera on. And we are going to test that in a second. Asset, the camera controller already, what is this problem? Contains a definition for previous camera action. Did I? Okay, so he doesn't like previous camera action, but he likes next camera action. Oh, because we wrote it differently. We can take those out then, I guess. And just save, and we determined them. Okay, and he doesn't like that either. By the way, that is the new input system, which I have no idea how to use at this point. So we're gonna put those back in, and we're gonna actually just take those out. For the time being, we're gonna save. We're gonna check if we are getting rid of that. Also, it put back in the typo we had. No, it doesn't. What is his problem now? The name does not exist in the current, yeah, because it took over the typo into everything else. So now we should be fine, right? Yeah, we are. Okay, so we need to put in a new binding, which is gonna be our keyboard location, the D key. There we go. Okay. There we go. We are gonna set up this, so we're gonna give it the camera for the player. Just like that. And now we need to figure out how to use those actions. What I like to do at this point, usually when I'm getting stuck or confused, with all that kind of jazz is we're just gonna look this up really quick and see what we used to move the player. Which doesn't really help me. Well, okay, what we can do is we can put this to one side, this to the other, so we can like look some things up. So first of all, we're gonna take all this out. And yeah, this is always gonna be like something I'll do quite a lot. Is gonna be working stuff back and front and then removing it because it doesn't work with how I think I can use it. So we're gonna use public key. Next camera is not gonna be tab, but it's gonna be D, and we're also gonna use previous key. So that's gonna be A, which is great. So what we are going to do is probably gonna... Actually, we also need... Do we need an active camera? No, we might not need an active camera. You guys can all see still, I hope. So, what are we doing now? We are actually gonna put in our public voids again. So that is public void on next camera. We put in that. And we're gonna put in previous camera like this. Cancel. We just want to save. And we're gonna say on update, whenever we press any of this, it's gonna use whatever. So keyboard current previous camera key is pressed. That looks pretty decent, yes. And then we're gonna need a public void on camera change, which will enable all of our things again. So that is gonna do a cameras. It goes through the list of cameras. It's gonna give us the index that we currently have used to change around the cameras, and it's gonna be enabling that one and setting it to true. And it's just as a fail safe, that's how you call it. Gonna be disabling the player camera as well, and it's gonna be is camera active set to true, which both of that we can take out because this is not how we are gonna do that. We are gonna place one on. We are gonna do one public void camera activation, which we are gonna call somehow, which will do the camera is true. It will also set is camera active to true, and it will set player camera enabled to false. We're also gonna do a public camera deactivation, which is gonna give us exactly the same thing in reverse, just so we can switch between the main camera from the character when we walk around and the camera that we have on the screen when we are using that. So we are going to need to set stuff in, which is fine. We are going to need a key to call camera deactivation, which we're probably gonna be using public key camera activation. Let's do C because we do that for testing, and we use V for disabling them. Actually, we don't need it here. We need that in the player controller. So we're also gonna do changes in here. Okay, nice. It just took that one. And we are gonna use public key camera activation, it's gonna be C. That's perfect. And we're gonna put that into here as well. We're just gonna call it over here. Which is gonna be a public void on camera activation. And we are going to reference the, let's go up here. Well, this is so nicely organized. Let's just fuck it up, right? Camera controller, and we're gonna call for the camera controller to activate its camera activation function. So that should work when we enter. And we also need to put in this one as well. If camera deactivation is pressed, deactivate the camera. So now all we have to do is waiting for this to load up again. We're going to be going into our player controller script. And now we have a camera controller in here, and we are just going to drag this in here. And now we should be able to press the C button to switch the camera around. Let's see. It probably doesn't work on the first try, but it would be great if it does. Yeah, as you can see, we press the C button and you can't see anything. That is because it for some reason doesn't work. And I think I actually know. I think we didn't put it into the update method. We didn't. How are we gonna put that in? If keyboard current key camera activation is pressed, we're gonna use on camera activation. Because how would he know if we never check for the key? Right? Makes sense. So now we're gonna boot the game up again. We're gonna wait a second for it to load. Now we're back in here. Let's look at this. Let's press the C button and look at this, guys. It's working. But what do we see here? We can still move and it's not gonna go into the... It is not going how we want it. Because we cannot switch the cameras. Let's see if we can press V. That actually works because, you know what? It is overriding the current ones that we have active. So what we can do now is we can do the cheap way, which is we're gonna make it Q and E for now, just to see if we didn't do anything majorly wrong. So we're gonna start the game up again. It's gonna load everything. We're gonna press Q and we actually see that nothing is changing for whatever reason. I mean, we can still walk around, but we have no way of... Also, we made him fly. The switching isn't working. Which could have a lot of reasons, actually. We have the timer mechanic already in the game. Look on top here. It is actually working as intended. It is just not ticking very fast currently, but you will see in like a couple of seconds it's gonna switch to 1. Exactly, and it rolls over every 59 minutes, so it hits 59 and then 0, 0, and then here goes to 1. We did that last week. Let's say last week, guys, when we streamed the dev stream last time. I don't know, we can do specifics later on. But, like, for example, welcome to the game, I'm on observation duty. All those games usually have, like, minutes ticking up. So I implemented it just like that for the time being. But now let's figure out... Actually, it's not that hard to figure out. We're gonna take those guys. And we're gonna move them over here to the input system one. We're also gonna take this guy hostage and move him over here. And we're just gonna make a bunch of stuff down here now. But we're gonna call the different things, like on camera deactivation. We're gonna do that. On next camera, we're gonna do that. On previous camera, we're gonna do that. And now we're just gonna place a shit ton of if statements in the update. So we're gonna say if current is camera deactivation key, we are gonna deactivate the camera. Also next camera already in, also previous camera already in. Let's save that. And let's see if it works. And yeah, I know it's not like the cleanest way of doing that, but we can iron out the kinks like anytime. But you see, it is actually not switching between our cameras. The question is, but it is changing. Look at this. You can see over here, where it is 0. If we hit D, it switches to 1. If we hit D again, it switches to 2. If we hit it again, it switches to 1. So there is kind of a bug in there. Because it also reacts to pressing D and A. Also, look, we fly again. So there's somewhat of a bug still in there. So for now, we're gonna use... this is... Next camera is gonna be E. Previous camera key is gonna be Q. We're gonna set that up right there. We're gonna hit play. Woo! Preload Digimon, let's go. And funnily enough, guys, now it's not working anymore. Look at that. Would you look at that? Nice little accidents that happen here. So we said if keyboard is current key, previous camera key is pressed, it's gonna do that. Also, we're gonna take out this update actually, because that doesn't make sense. That also was kind of a reason why it was buggy probably. So we have those keys set up, which is great. Actually, what we could do is do public camera, current camera. And we're gonna say current camera equals cameras like this. We could test this out so we have an actual reference to the current camera. We're gonna switch back to the player camera if we are deactivating it. And on camera change, we're gonna also call this one. Which might be the reason why it's not working, because we have never called that on camera change, guys. So it might be that that was just wasted time now that we placed everything else in, because we are not doing everything we need to do. But let's see if that works. It works. So we're gonna load up that one. We're gonna press C and it will crash probably. Oh no, it does. Okay, it does work. And you also see we have camera 1 now here. Also, thanks for the drink. And now let's press E. Okay, it still runs a bit buggy, but we see it actually changes the camera. We just don't disable the old one. So what we need to do is go back into the script, which is right here. And on camera change, what we actually will do is we're gonna do a current camera. No, we don't want to do that. We want to do current camera. Is enabled false. And then we're gonna call on camera change, and we're gonna do the same with current camera enabled false right here, which may be the issue that we are running into. Oh, it's only 18 gigabytes for Digimon? That is insane. That is like only double the size of the demo. Holy. Okay, so we're gonna test it again. And would you look at this, guys? It is kind of buggy, because for whatever reason, it goes insane because we have is pressed and not like the correct command for like just pressing it once. But we can switch like a madman now. You guys like that? And we can go back. So now the only thing we need to figure out is what else we can do here. And what you can do when you don't know what you can take is do that and type in... Oh, is down actually working? Let's test that one out. So we're gonna test is down, if that is working. Otherwise we need to look for whatever else there is. But let's check it out. Is down is not there. Okay. So we're gonna check what we have at all. Is down is actually in that list. Is grounded. That could be what we actually need to choose. Is grounded. Is grounded. That would be a weird way of saying, okay, we've missed a... We missed a bracket right there. And is grounded is not accessible. So what we do now is we're gonna take this whole thing and we're gonna take it to Google. Documentation so that we can see what we can do. Performed is apparently something that we can do. So let's see if IntelliSense is giving us performed. It is not giving us performed. Right, we're gonna change those back to as pressed real quick, so we don't need to do them all the time while we figure out what actual call we can use. So let's go back here. Sorry, guys. Okay, performed is not working. So we're gonna take it back to Google and look at the player input system class, which we have here. And now we can look what everything is in there. First update, we look up all the data we need. No, we don't need to do this on enable as player input itself, performing some initialization on work on enable. Okay. So what they use here is player input actions fire. But that is just assigning it. Let's see what we can find in here. That is literally me not being completely sure on how this new controller setup works. But it's fine, we're gonna get there. We just need to look for the... I think it's probably the input module. Input action callback context. That is not really helpful. Why is pressed working but the rest no? Let's actually take a look in here. Oh yeah, what we actually can do would be making a quick little public void switch camera where we do this. We're gonna say, does that even make sense though? Actually, it does. If, and we're gonna say input get down key, then it's gonna be, okay, we just need to switch those two around. It's gonna be E and Q. Oh, okay, if you put it like that, we can try that. Since we have only the method down there. Let's try that. Was pressed this frame. Let's see if he knows that one. He actually does. Argo in here doing live tech support and helping us. Insane. Thank you, thank you. Oh wait, Argo, I can actually show you something. Which was... Oh, Arcrostal was it. Thank you. Thank you. But also, Argo, if you're still there, type something that I can show you something really cool. Let's see if that works. Otherwise, we go for my janky solution again. But I have high hopes because was pressed this frame actually sounds pretty good. Because it probably just checks like the one frame we press it at. Yes. Okay, Arcro, thank you a lot. What a legend. Everyone applause him in chat, please. For saving the day. Okay, by the way, guys, this means we are done with the camera switching thing. Which is probably the most janky code anyone has ever done. But it kind of works. So we're happy with that. This is literally becoming the Bob Ross channel of game deving, isn't it? Going like, happy little accidents. Over and over again. Also, we gonna throw out the audio listeners from that. From all of them, so we don't get a million messages down here telling us, oh, by the way, you have a million listeners. Okay. So we're just gonna do a quick test to see if enabling, disabling back-to-back works fine as well. Look at that. I have no idea where this camera is. 1, 2, 3. But it's 3 cameras, so it works. So yeah, that's that functionality done, guys. And we now learned, well, I did, that we need to use was press this frame. which, not gonna lie, I think is fairly hard to remember when you don't know. But anyways, guys, since you redeemed all your hydrations so lovely and much, I need to pee. So I'll be right back with y'all in a minute. I am back, guys. Look at that. And we now have our camera functionality working. Which means it's time for at least Lydia's favorite thing that we can do. Also, we need to add something now. We need to add a find ghost animation. So we download some animations already. And I think that is literally all. Yep. So let's spin the wheel. Damn, that was rigged, wasn't it? So we're gonna look for animations for the ghost, which we're gonna use Mixamo for. So in case you didn't know, you can also upload characters, which I hope still works like I remember it, where we can literally just drag and drop them. Give me a second to move that over here on the second screen so we can quickly look for the assets. Oh yeah, we need to check package. Oh, our doll doesn't download, guys. That is a big issue. So we might need to look for another doll. For another ghost model. So for now, we're just gonna take Hat Monster Book Guy. He is gonna be our man. Because sadly, the other one doesn't want to download for whatever reason. Let's see if that guy downloads. Oh wait, now she imports. Couldn't decompress package, like, okay. There seems to be something wrong with the doll thing. No idea what it is. But we're gonna live with that. And we're then gonna look for a walking animation. Once the book demon is downloaded, which takes forever because it's like literally a gigabyte for one single guy because it's 82 files. Which is probably meaning that this is a quite a high quality asset. So we're gonna clear those errors and we're gonna live with our nice little doll not working. And it should be done downloading in like any second now. which hopefully actually happens. If it then so will. Okay, it does not want to do that. So I guess there is some problem with our... Well, it could be that my hard drive is full and that's why he's not downloading or importing anything. Which I need to fix next time then. But that could be the issue we're having right now. So sadly that means a bunch of stuff from the Wheel of Names is out. We're gonna close that. Okay, what do we still have? We have the PC interaction, we have the pathing, we have the camera handling for the ghost, we have a find a TV model, and we have the ghost animation. We have already a TV model actually. But we might actually look for a different one. Woo, Siswi, nice. Because let's be honest, wouldn't it be cool to have like an old-timey like this TV where he can pop out of? Because I would say yes. And I'm pretty sure that is also not too big of a deal for us to download. At least we can test it out. I actually like this one. Oh, it's actually 4 different TVs. This one's even better. We take that asset pack. We're gonna reload our asset packs. And then we're gonna see, it's only 12 megabytes, like this should work. Import to project, it also does work. We import everything. We're gonna move it around a little bit so it's nice and clean in our things. And then we're gonna jump back into the scene because now what we can do is we can replace this thing, the TV, quote unquote, with an actual, like a TV looking TV. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into here, we're gonna go into the enemies prefab, which holds the TV. And we're opening up the prefab so we can work with it. So we're gonna take the models. HQ laptop. Where did we put our TVs? Oh, we put them in the wrong one. TV goes into models. There we go. And here we have our TVs, which are all not working because we have a cube map. Okay. It is not working because it probably uses, let's check. It usually says somewhere around here, package info, releases. But it was released like 2014 and the last one was 2021. I don't think URP was a thing back then. So it actually should work. We'll just test it out, actually. Okay, we're gonna use this old CRT TV and we're just gonna drag that model on top of here. And if you can see, it's like not as big as this one. We're gonna put down the mesh renderer so we can see it. And we're gonna put the material. Sadly, the material is still grayed out for us. So that sucks, but we're gonna scale it a little bit. To make it, oh, never mind. Let's actually save that and let's look at it in the scene, how it's looking. Because that could mean that it's actually like... That is far too small. Let's be real. We can make it a little bit bigger. Like this. I mean, yeah, this looks fine. We just need to go back into the prefab before we can actually do something with it, because we want it to be the same size on the box collider. So we make the box collider like hid the TV screen, so it's not gonna block us in a way that we don't want it to when it's somewhere. So that goes here. This looks fine. This looks fine. This doesn't look fine. So we go that, and we're gonna drag that into the side, and that as well. We're gonna hit save, and now it has a correct collision, more or less. Like this. Okay, that looks decent enough. So we're gonna save that, and we're gonna go back to our scene. We're gonna rotate that real quick so we look at it. And let's see if the ghost is still spawning, I think, when we hit the spacebar. There it is. It still spawns like decently close enough. Let's actually check the game manager for once. And our fake Sadako script. So she has the TV transform, which is correct. So we're gonna check this. Oh, it's actually because we moved it, probably, that it is not doing as we want anymore. But to be fair, I think it actually is fine like it is. If she is not spawning directly on top of it right now, we can fix that later anytime. So we have the TV here, and she spawns like literally next to it, which is fine. We can also walk down below it, and we get pushed down, which is great. And now we are flying. Okay, that is an interesting, fun little bug. Okay, we definitely need to rework the walking at some point. Because this is definitely an interesting one. Oh, but we hit the ground at some point again, so it's not too bad. And we have the ghost spawning, which is fine. And we have a TV model, which sadly, I mean, it looks like a TV. Kind of. Let's actually look why it's not showing. The television source. I remember there was a thing how to do that. With like the shaders. That's standard. Does that do something? No. There was a way to actually make it work somewhat. Standard, that doesn't change it. Ray tracing, okay. Definitely not. How did we do that back in the day? Must have been in properties, to be honest. There was somehow where you can put in the rendering pipeline. I remember that. Oh wait, was it somewhere around here? I mean, it's literally what we see in the inspector, so we don't need to have that open. Compiled mode, keywords, properties. But that is literally the shader thing. You know what, guys? We're just gonna take it to Google. A Unity imported asset pink. Materials are pink. So that is literally where we are. You need to add the textures to the materials used by the object. Okay. Okay, so we need to change away from probably... Okay, so we were in the right thing. We need to check out, like, maybe if standard could also be... What did he write in there? Lightweight pipeline / standard physically based. Start the template with the universal project template. Okay, we're gonna read a little bit longer, further. Okay, so apparently if we don't have render pipeline showing here, which we don't have, we would need to get our own materials. But since we are not doing that, we're gonna go here and look for another TV. Oh look, there is a CRT TV. There's another TV. Kinda like that TV. So we're gonna add that. Hey Kagratka, what's up? How are you? And we're gonna just get it in the game, and we're gonna forget about the ones that didn't work. The university life tiring you out? I can understand that. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. We import that. We're gonna import that. We're gonna put Symphony. I guess Symphony is what it's gonna be. Yep. Into models. And we're gonna look at it. Look at this. This is what I call a TV. Scene. Let's look at it. It's perfect. That's what we like to see. And we're gonna do the box collider thing again. I mean, not gonna lie, the first day of everything is always exhausting. We're gonna save that. We're gonna go back to the scene and look at this beautiful TV we have now. And on top of that, it's working out of the box. Who would have thought? And when we enter the game, it's gonna be blue and then it's gonna pop in because it takes a while to load apparently, which is fine. But that means we're done with the TV model. Now also let's check real quick if we can change, because I just realized that we can still move while we are at the cameras. Let's actually open up the camera control, the player controller, and look at how we can fix that one. Damn, 2 2-hour lectures sounds like a pain in the butthole. What we can do is literally look for player move down here. And we're gonna go for, like, okay, if run is pressed, if forward is pressed, we are gonna just do a simple if camera controller is active, we're gonna have an empty one. And then else, and we're gonna put that one in. And we're gonna do that for literally all of them until we are done. Luckily, we have that IntelliSense bullshit here, which is like helping a little bit. So we can do that a little bit quicker. with just the press of a button. And we don't care for the else because we use the new input system. So we're going to save that and quickly look if we're still moving. Damn, the display is bad. At least you can literally... I mean, basically you can plug in a monitor though if you're at home and want to play, right? Okay, so we can move still. We activate the camera. Look at this guy. He's not moving anymore. We fixed that bug. But we can still switch the cameras around. I call that a huge success. Also, man, it sucks really bad if your screen has ghosting problems. Because that sounds like really shit. Oh my god, you even see it when you move the mouse over the PC? That is insane. I'm not sure if I could... Wait, it's even a 144 Hz monitor and it's still blurry and has ghosting issues? Holy shit. That is insane. Okay, guys, so we finished up with finding a TV model. Isn't that great? We're just scrapping the wheel of names more and more. Okay, now let's actually place the laptop as well. Which is also pink textures non-stop. Which sucks, to be honest. Because it also doesn't have the shader thing. Okay, so we're going to use a different laptop. Easy as that. No problem. So we're going to look for the laptop model. There it is. Look, here we have our laptop. It's nicely placed on the ground. Let's look at how cute it is. Look, guys, we have a laptop here. Isn't that lovely? So now we kind of need to work out how to make interactions work. Oh damn, Argo is back in the chat. Argo, I need to show you something. Because I only managed to do that because you wrote the perfect tutorial for me. Okay, you're looking? Look at this. There we go. Look, look, it's working. Just pointing it out, look at how good that works. That was my proud moment today when I tried it again and fixed it. Isn't that beautiful? You guys cannot imagine how happy I was when it worked. It is a piece of art, in my opinion. Okay, so now we need to think about a way how to do the laptop thing. Which I have to say, I have no clue. Ooh, what did you cook? We had spaghetti carbonara today. Okay, guys, so we could do the laptop interaction, which is not really my strong suit, I guess. I mean, we have everything in place mostly, probably. We just need to put a tag on it, which is gonna be laptop. We're gonna save that. And we're gonna tag him on laptop. Oh, spaghetti bolognese? It is actually our twin intuition, I guess. Damn. I mean, maybe that is. I mean, to be fair, he got the better cards by going to UK and not living in Germany anymore then. Or maybe I'm a Brit and I don't know. That would explain the crooked teeth, kind of. Thank you, Kakratka. Have fun lurking. Okay. So one thing, how we probably need to do that is putting a raycast over the laptop, which means the laptop needs to get like a collider. We will just do a box collider because that makes it easier. Which does actually nothing. Yep, that is true. And we have a laptop. And what we want to do is when we look at the laptop, we want the camera activation to be callable. So what we have right now is that bullshit up here somewhere. Here. No, wait. Give me a second, guys. I will. Okay, we have this here. And we have the camera activation one, which we need to do like a if raycast on tag laptop, then activate camera with keyboard activation key. Oh look, it actually just goes like this. Man, I'm actually so hyped to see that poster. Not gonna lie. Like, it's unbelievable how hyped I am. Okay, let's see if we figured it out already, because the game kinda did the work for us. We also need to activate his trigger on that one. Man, I mean, your list sounded dope as fuck already. Okay, so we're looking at it now, and we press E. And we press C. Okay, so what it is not doing currently is allowing us to use that. Which is okay, because right now it's also not letting us switch to the camera, so we kind of have an okay thing. If mouse is on raycast tag laptop, let's just remove that and see if it generates cool code for us again. It doesn't. So what it does is if we outcast hit it, it's gonna be there. Okay, so what we can do is we can actually ask that guy about it. How do I make this work if I look at the laptop that has this tag. Let's see. Also, let's see if our okay, that is literally the same. Yeah, man, 12-hour streaming is really a lot. But I'm pretty sure if one person can do it, it's Argo, and make it funny for the whole 12 hours. Okay, let's see. Like, he needs to think a lot about that one, so... Let's see what he does if we hit accept. That is the dumbest code I've ever seen. If center of screen camera is looking at... Okay, actually, that may be the most brilliant, idiotic script, keep all. That could actually work. Which would be insane. Let's see if that actually works, guys. Because that would be hilarious. Okay, so we press C, it's not working. We'll go close to it, it works! Oh my god, it actually works. Okay, don't know how I triggered that, because it is not very user-friendly, I guess. Well, we're gonna do something to make it a lot easier to see. We're gonna add to the UI a little something, which is gonna be press C to use the cameras in text form. Yeah, it's literally a game already. So we're gonna use this and we're gonna add a UI text mesh pro. We're gonna just drag it down a bit. And we're gonna name that one, rename press button. As simple as that. And we're gonna go, press button is gonna be press C to use the cameras. We're gonna make that big enough to fit the whole text. We're gonna make it even bigger so it is kind of centered, and we're gonna center the whole text in the middle. And now we need to like put a few small changes into this one. So for one, we need a new public text mesh pro GUI camera activation text, which we name, yeah, we can name it like this. And then we go down here. And we're gonna do this. And if it is, camera activation text is gonna be changed to, it's gonna actually just be dot is enabled equals true. Otherwise it starts on false. And also, if that is not true, else camera activation text is false. So we're gonna check that real quick. Oh yeah, because we need to put in a small something up here, which is TM Pro. Otherwise he doesn't know what to do with that. Cannot implicitly convert from bool to Text, okay, so enabled is wrong. We probably need to use a different... Oh, because I'm a fucking retard. It's like this. And then it's gonna be camera text enabled is false. Because I literally tried to make a boolean out of this. Man, I mean, you get the game. When we have a working prototype, I will send it to you directly. Okay, let's see if the text disappears and if we can make it reappear while looking at the laptop, and also if it reappears. Oh yeah, it will not reappear or disappear, obviously. For one, because... Did I put that into the player controller? I actually did. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Who cares? Who needs clean coding, right, guys? It's a public text mesh pro GUI. A text mesh pro text. That also makes a lot more sense, and I guess then it will appear here somewhere. Okay, like, why am I dumb today, guys? You don't need to answer that one. We're gonna use the... I think it was the game manager that has the time. Wait, no, it is a text mesh pro GUI. Why is it not showing up on our player, though? That is the question that we all need answers for. So we have the player. Oh, because it's on here. It is just me being a dum-dum, guys. And now he goes like, we cannot find this, even though TM Pro is enabled. We'll already use Unity UI. That is also only using TM Pro. This is a good one, though. The type or namespace name text mesh pro GUI could not be found. It's probably a typo, isn't it? Because it's gonna be pro UGUI. That's the issue. There we go. Now it should work. It is loading, so that's probably a good sign. It is. Okay, let's look at it. Let's see if it works now. It is, but it is also showing the text non-stop and we're flying. Oh, it's actually because we look at the thing. Also, we're flying now. That is an interesting one. That we're all of a sudden just flying the whole time. Okay, and if we look away from it, it is not working anymore. But if we look like here, it is showing, but we cannot click the button actually. But then it works at some point again. There is some weird bug going on, I guess, which we'll need to figure out somehow. But I'm not sure what the bug is. To be honest, this code is so messy already. Because I just vibe code, I feel like. That there could be a lot of reasons why it's not working. Oh, thank you. I will do. Yeah, I also need to set up like one of those streamer friends things. But if you haven't noticed by now, I think like I should set up and do a lot of things and then they all just get pushed back because I'm probably a master of procrastinating and trying to do a lot of stuff and then be overwhelmed and do nothing. But yeah. Yeah, I know. I do a lot and I get overwhelmed. But guys, I can tell you, I started to work on switching away from Streamlabs because I'm kind of frustrated with them over to OBS, and the stream is already looking a lot better there, but I just cannot multi-stream there yet. That's why we're on here right now, and there will be a huge upgrade to how it looks, how many scenes we have, and stuff like that. So be ready for that. Altum, yeah, I saw that as well, but I just started setting up OBS today, and I was pretty happy to get it as far as I could. But thank you for the recommendation. I will definitely use that. Okay, so we need to figure out how to make wherever it is work better. I think we put it on top right. It's like on top right here. Oh, he actually wants to do changes now. I mean, let's do those changes. Like, he worked fine last time. Well, I had no idea. What it did is literally it... oh no, it's not Copilot. It's like... what was it called? I think it was based on Claude 4. It's Cursor, yeah. And what it did, it literally made us a viewport point to ray, which is like a vector 3, which is narrower than just having it on cam, which could actually fix the bug that we had in there without me needing to use my brain power. Okay, look at this. Now the text is gone, and if we get closer, the text should reappear at some point. But it now isn't anymore. Yeah, cursor is actually used a lot currently. Also, guys, always remember the important news we saw a few weeks ago, which were like... undo all. Which were like, if you download cursor, you run the risk of it executing malware in your computer, which happens if you download code from the internet and run it. So it literally has nothing to do with cursor or the AI. It's literally being, don't be a dumb bitch and download code off the internet. You don't understand what it does and press run. But luckily, our friends at, I think... no, it cannot automate and run your program for you. You can set it up to do that, which is a lot of clicks. But then you still need to tell him, run that script that I downloaded off the internet. So, yeah. It is actually very safe. You need to actually go down the way of making yourself super vulnerable by changing settings and stuff like that on here to make that a risk. But once you do all those checks and settings, like, it's not cursor that is the risk for cyber attacks. It's literally the user that sits there and does the settings like that. Okay, let's see if turning it back worked out. We look away, we look there again. Okay, I mean, like, it's not perfect by no means, right? But at least we got it working. Which brings me to another big point that we need to do right now in the stream. And I promise you guys, it is very important that we do that right now, which is being right back because I need to pee. I'm back. Yeah, don't you guys think I actually made that very suspenseful? With me needing to go to pee? True, it's only 2 days, 23 hours, and 5 minutes until the best stream of all time will go live. Can you guys imagine that? It's gonna be huge. True, like, after that, no one will ever say, everyone will say streaming Phasmophobia will never be the same after we are done with that game. It is literally gonna be the bestest thing ever. Yep, exactly. They will actually broadcast this to Mars, I guess. Well, we will show people how to actually play the game like pros. We're gonna turn off the screens. We're gonna turn off voice and everything. We're gonna turn off audio. We're gonna be like a minus 100 sanity. Ghosts will always hunt instantly, and we will be right 100% of the time. We will turn off the screens as well. Yeah, we just upside down the monitor. Okay, so what did we do today? Let's actually quickly use the wheel of names for making a list what we did today. We found the ghost model. We did the camera system. We did get a TV model. We got a laptop model. We added some texts. Yes, that is what we do all of the time now. Okay, guys, I have to say my brain's kind of fried on programming right now. Not gonna lie, that was a lot of thinking since we did that with the Wheel of Names thing. So what do you guys say? Are we hopping into a game for like the last hour and however long I will stay awake? So do we want to do a Menti now, or do we want to keep that for Friday, or do we want to hop in for Pokemon, maybe Dead by Daylight if you want to see me really salty? Okay, I guess Lydia wants me to play Dead by Daylight tomorrow, so I'll grant that wish. Oh, it's the most toxic cesspool of salty people ever, Argo. There is literally nothing fun about the game. It is just a salt mine you go into and regret everything that you ever did. And you cannot do anything. Like, I think I'm a pretty chill guy, never toxic or anything. Like, I'll go into this game, play one round, toxicity reaches 11. Like, literally. Yep, that is Dead by Daylight. Like, if you think World of Warcraft at one point when you played it was a toxic place, that is literally a piece of a place for like the nicest people on Earth compared to what Dead by Daylight is. Like, even the least saltiest person in Dead by Daylight will beat the saltiest player in every other game every day. Okay, guys, you know what we actually do? We're gonna do a Manti, I guess, yeah. Let's play a Manti, because it sounds fun. Also, look, look, guys, it literally captures the, where we do game capture, it captures the game. Like the inside window of Unity. I've never seen that. Okay, that is a lovely touch that they added to stream